Good morning, everyone. Welcome into North Dakota Today. If you're looking to add a new novel to your reading list, listen up. Tyler Schwanke is a writer and filmmaker. His short stories have been widely published in online journals and literary magazines. And today he's here in studio to talk about breaking in his debut novel. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. First of all, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of the novel, just tell us about yourself and your journey to become an author.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background's in filmmaking. I'm a graduate of the film program here at Minnesota State University, Moorhead.
Woo! The Dragons, right?
Dragons.
Go
yep,
Dragons.
Yep. So made short stories there, short films there.
Yeah.
My first film festival was the Fargo Film Festival. And from there I went to Minneapolis, that's where I live, and started looking for production work. And after a summer of basically working for free lunch and credit, not making any money, right? It's really hard to break into that. I got what we call like a day job, to kind of offset so I could move out of my parents' basement. But I was missing that creative outlet. So I turned to novels. I just thought, this is a really great way to kind of still, tell stories, be cinematic about it, but instead of needing $50,000 for a budget and a full crew, I just need a computer and a Word document, and I can create all of that from there. So I've been writing fiction for about 12 years, started with short stories, and then moved up, and Breaking In's my debut just came out in May.
Yeah, how exciting. So we were gifted this a couple of days ago too, so I have some fun notes to talk about from what I perused earlier. But tell us about what Breaking In is, what it's about. Can you tell us the plot?
I can, yeah, absolutely. So Breaking In, for me, it's really a love letter to those with a dream, and then also heist movies. So I love heist movies. I think just the general concept and all the different forms is so much fun. So this book is about Millie Blomquist. She's a 17-year-old film student. She goes to a film camp in New York City for the summer. Part of this camp is they have a program a competition where you can submit a full-length script and then a short film to submit, and then the winner of the competition gets like $500,000 to turn that short into a feature length. But due to some fraudulence in the camp closes down. Millie doesn't get to make her movie. 7 months later, she's in the Fargo theater. She's looking up at the screen, watching the coming attractions, and she sees a preview for the upcoming movie that's shot by shot her movie. It's her script. The guy who runs the film academy, the film camp, he's stolen it and he's made it himself, and the way the school is set up, he's allowed to do that. So Millie takes her film crew, turns them into a heist crew, because the script that he stole is a heist movie, so she has all this knowledge about heist movies. So she uses that to pull off a real-life heist to steal the movie 3 days before the premiere.
Okay, and drama ensues.
Drama and hilarity ensues.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is what's funny to me too. So obviously you're a hometown hero, you're from the region, you understand the ins and outs of winter, or maybe even northern dialect. And I absolutely loved this line. I wanted to turn to this. This is page 10. And this is Millie herself saying, "I wasn't aware that I talked all that differently." And her little cohort here, Devin, says, "Oh, for sure, don't you know?" And I laughed out loud reading that, because moving here, I don't necessarily pick up on it that much. I'm from Michigan. But as soon as you leave this region, everyone picks up on it.
Oh, yeah. My first semester of college, I went to the University of Nebraska. I was going to be in journalism. Figured out pretty quickly that wouldn't work for me. But I remember I was in the elevator, I was talking to a couple of people, and they said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Minnesota." And it was like the first time, it was that hard O, and I was like, oh my gosh.
There it was.
It just, even if you think you don't have it, you do. You've got a trace of it somewhere.
It's funny too, because little Millie's going through the same thing we all are when she hits the big city. Okay, this next one, my co-anchor Jordan Schreier loved this line, so he put the pink sticky note here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to have him read this one, but this is funny because it relates to winter, and then it gets a little dramatic.
It does. So, carefully inching her way across the frozen lot reminds her of how Dad used to call her his little penguin when she was a kid, the way she'd waddle to keep from falling. She was 14 when he was killed.
Dun, dun, dun. See? And it's like you're reading it and you're like, yep, that's what we do. We all do that little ice waddle so we don't end up, flat on our backs. And then you're like, oh, Oh, a man has lost his life. Okay, now we're in it.
Now we get into it. Yep.
Okay, so for folks at home, how do they get their hands on this novel?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's available anywhere online: Amazon, Barnes & Noble, BookBub. I had an event last Saturday at the Barnes & Noble here in Fargo. So fun fact, I used to work there back in my college days. I won't say how long ago that was to age me, but I used to work in the coffee shop. So it was really cool being able to go back there as an author and be able to sign books and kind of return to that. So there are still some copies there that are signed.
Okay.
And then like I said, from there you can get it wherever books are sold.
How wonderful! It's a nice little full circle moment. I love that, especially when we talk about, starting out the starving artist stereotype. Sometimes that's kind of true, and you really got to get those day jobs to try to make ends meet.
Yep,
so congratulations!
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Well, we're so happy to have you, especially with all of the regional ties. As you just mentioned, the Fargo Theater. We love to have them on as a guest and to head out there for any type of event.
It's a beautiful theater. I love going to movies there. We try, if my wife and I are coming back for a longer weekend, we definitely try to get to the Fargo every time.
Right, and it's just so fun to scroll through and start reading and to recognize everything too. That's what's fun, because then you feel involved even as a reader. Okay, how fun. How has the response been, by the way?
It's been great. It's been great. Yep. This was on a Crime Reads, which is a crime website for authors. It was one of the 12 most anticipated YA books of 2023.
Wow. Congrats.
Thank you. Yep. It was the Toronto Star named it one of their best summer beach reads. And so the reviews online have been great. I think that's the best part for me is, it's great, hearing from critics and that kind of stuff, but just the readers and their response. The other day I saw one on Amazon, and I try not to look too much, right? To worry about it. But I saw one, just the title was, "I Need More." And, it was just saying, how much I loved it. And they listened to the audiobook. And if you like, the accents, I have two narrators, and one of them, she is they're both fantastic, but she does the accents. And so Millie's mom is a full-blown North Dakotan, and she has the best accent. It had me crack. My wife and I were cracking up the whole time. So,
wait, so you get to pick out who does the voice acting too?
I did, yeah. So it's a really, really fun audio book.
Yeah.
So if maybe if just you don't get time to read, but you're in your car a lot, highly recommend that.
Okay, I love that too, because there is a lot of change-ups, even with the pronunciation of the words too. So how perfect!
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I love that you had a hands-on look at that too. Okay, well, that was going to lead us to our next question. What's next for you? Are you just trying to let this settle, or are we
definitely
already
letting this settle? Trying to reach an audience. To get the book out there as much as possible. So thank you for this is my TV debut.
Aww.
So this is super exciting. I was on the news when I was 6 years old. For a plug for the new Discovery Zone laser tag when I was a kid. So I ran around with a laser gun, and I thought it was going to be this big thing, and they cut me after like 5 seconds. So this has been much more rewarding, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I've been doing some podcasts lately. I'm actually doing one today at 5:30. And then I have another book signing coming up in Duluth in September.
Okay, exciting stuff to look forward to. I was going to say from laser tag to a heist novel. Okay, it's all connecting now. I'm starting to see all the action-packed dots. Well, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on Breaking In, everybody. Available at your bookstore. Head on even down to our local Fargo Barnes & Noble. I love that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Okay, stick around, everybody at home. Coming up on today's show, Mike and Chef Randall are cooking up some delicious red salsa. Stay tuned.